We will now confer honorary degrees upon two individuals who have distinguished themselves through extraordinary service. Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Kristen Majaka, will provide the introduction. The honorary degree candidates, would you please now stand and step forward? The doctoral hood will be placed upon each candidate by University of Regents Bob Ferris, Jim Pillen, Tim Clare, and our UNK Professor of History, Doug Biggs. Dr. Majaka.
Chancellor Christensen, it is my honor to introduce two esteemed colleagues, educators, authors, and mentors. Both are candidates for the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters. Dr. Martin Elbel, Associate Professor and Docent, and Dr. Jan Stejskal, Dean of the Faculty of Arts at Palacky University, Olomouc, Czech Republic. Since 1998 and 1999, respectively, Dr. Elbel and Dr. Stejskal have taught, mentored, and befriended more than 700 University of Nebraska student participants in our semester abroad program at Palacky University. Together, and with the extraordinary commitment, dedication, and vision, they exponentially strengthened what at the time of their arrival was a fledgling program. Accordingly, students' experiences have been exponentially enhanced. They have and they continue to provide professional oversight, curriculum development, program coordination, classroom instruction, and beyond classroom instruction, such as visits to the sites of historic and cultural significance. All of these are of high priority, of course, but they provide so much more: guidance, supervision, mentorship, friendship, confidence building, cultural understanding. They provide lifelong and in many cases life-changing experiences. We honor them today for their contributions and dedication to our university and the students they serve.
All right, I will read the citation. In honor of their steadfast commitment to the profession of education, in recognition of their uncommon ability to mentor, guide, teach, direct, create respect, and understand across the borders of this world, between cultures, and in gratitude to their loyalty to this campus, we now, the University of Nebraska, confer upon Martin Elbel and upon Jan Stejskal the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. Regents, Dr. Biggs, would you please hood the candidates? Thank you. Dr. Elbel and Dr. Stejskal will now deliver today's commencement address. Gentlemen.
Dear Chancellor Christensen, dear Governor-elect Pillen, dear colleagues and friends, dear graduates, soon-to-be alumni. When the Chancellor and our Nebraskan colleagues invited us to give this commencement speech, we thought hard about how to go about it. We were concerned that, as Europeans, we were not entirely familiar with your university customs. We didn't want speech to be just a burdensome interruption before diplomas were awarded and mortarboards were tossed. We eventually decided to speak as we are accustomed to speaking to our graduates at home on similar occasions, even at the risk that our customs might seem a little old-fashioned to you. But that's what we Europeans are, after all. All right then, so it begins. Magnificentia Vestra, Cancellarius Christensen. Prefectus designatus et electus Pillen. Spectabiles, honorabiles, cives academici, amici clarissimi atque carissimi. Don't worry. First of all, let me say that Martin and I are extremely honored by decision of the Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska to award us the honorary degrees. Such a degree is the highest honor and a proof of friendship that academics can offer each other. We gladly and gratefully accept it, and we are thrilled to be taking the degree alongside you. Your degrees result from your hard work, and today is your day. Your families and your friends are here with you. They have placed their trust in you, and you have not disappointed them. Your parents, in particular, have supported you throughout your life so far. We are sure you have expressed your gratitude to them, and you will continue doing so. But it's not only you and your loved ones who can be proud of what you have accomplished today. Many of your teachers are here with you, for whom education has become not just a job, but vocation. They too are happy for your success, because your success is their highest reward. The European medieval scholar Bernard of Clairvaux once wrote, "There are those who want to know in order to better themselves, and that's prudence." And at the same time, he added, "There are those who want to know in order to better others, and that's virtue." It's therefore fitting that we also give thanks to your teachers, whose vocation is to help their students achieve even greater success than they have achieved themselves. When European kings founded the first universities in the Middle Ages, they made them a community quite different from the society in which the universities operated. Education was considered so important and sacred that it erased almost all social differences amongst the members of the academic community, and the social differences were otherwise abysmal in those times. Thus the poor and the rich could study side by side. The sons of nobles and the sons of servants attended the same lectures, took the same exams, and wore the same university gowns, not unlike the ones we are wearing today. Education as such was so esteemed that the universities, their students and teachers were relieved of most of the obligation to the state. They were even exempted from the obligation to pay taxes. It's a pity that, unlike other things, this privilege has not survived to this day. However, the governor-elect and perhaps some other legislators are sitting among us, and all is not lost forever. Education has been valued since time immemorial, because people have long known that education makes the world a better place. This is not just a platitude. Educated people are indeed able to change things for the better, not just on global scale, but also in their communities and their families. They can inspire and improve. You can inspire and improve. The education you have received has given you the gift of critical thinking. We live in difficult times, and we face numerous challenges. The experience has taught us that it's naive to expect that some wise leader or leaders will solve all of our problems. Whether the world and our society are to be a better place to live in is up to you. It's up to you to accept your responsibility, which is closely related to your education. Today you have reached a point beyond no one should exhort you to wait patiently for your moment to come. Nobody should tell you any longer that this is how things have always been and that it's the only way things should be. It's up to your generation to reshape the world for the better. Your time is coming, and you will need all your knowledge and the skills you have earned. Martin and I, back in the dark ages, I think it was in the 90s, stood in a similar place to where you are standing now. Opportunities were ahead of us, and the future was filled with optimism. Yet we did not take it for granted. Just consider. We have been both born and had spent our childhoods under communist rule, behind the Iron Curtain. It fell just on time when we are starting our university studies, at the very right time for us. With the Iron Curtain dismantled, the borders opened, and also we were rather poor at that time, we were free. Suddenly, we could travel wherever we wanted, study in other countries, meet whomever we wanted, and say whatever we wanted. You are probably thinking, that's normal, that's the way things are supposed to be. Believe me, that was not the case during our childhood under the communist regime. And believe me, this is not the case in many countries of the world. That evil has not gone away, but in the 90s we believed that it had. Martin.
Freedom, justice, democracy, peace, and prosperity make a particularly fragile ecosystem, a system that is difficult to develop and even more difficult to sustain. And as history has taught us, those ecosystems have a rather unpleasant tendency to collapse, often surprisingly quickly and always with devastating consequences. There is no simple way to prevent that, but there are several remedies that can help nourish the system we live in and make it immune to both external and internal threats. Education is one of them. It teaches us to collect data, analyze them, distinguish between facts and fallacies, and to share your knowledge in a free, open dialogue, often at the cost of admitting one's errors and fallacies. It's a never-ending process, a journey without an end, but we have to carry on. You have to carry on. If we stop doing that, the monsters will start crawling out of the dark. A 17th century Czech scholar, John Amos Comenius, wrote a book called Orbis Pictus, The Visible World. It was a textbook intended to provide a simple, affordable, yet solid education to all children. The book starts with a dialogue between a teacher and a student, in which the teacher urges the student to seek wisdom. But the student asks, what does it mean to be wise? The teacher's response is quite simple. To understand rightly, to do rightly, and to speak out rightly, that all is necessary. So here lies your task. Today, as in the 17th century, you need to use appropriately that precious gift you have obtained, your education. Allow us to mention an experience we have had since the time when we stood in a similar place as you are standing today and received our diplomas. Don't be afraid of high goals. Don't be afraid of failing. You have the age and the time to try to do what you desire. If you put your mind to it, you will succeed, sooner or later. We both wanted to travel, to explore the world, and to become university teachers. And yet, as Jan has mentioned, we were born in the communist regime. It was impossible for us to visit foreign countries. Free speech was severely restricted, and to become a professor meant to enter the servitude of the state and propagate its ideology. And now we are standing here today in front of you, and the only problem we are facing is jet lag. We were, of course, extremely fortunate. The communist regime collapsed when we were still young. You, however, you do not need to wait for luck and political change. Unlike us, you were born in a free and prospering country. Your dreams can come true all the more easily. All you need is courage. Jan and I have just received degrees that reflect our work in teaching students from Nebraska who have been coming to Central Europe for over 25 years. Believe me, there is no better feeling than being awarded for doing what you love. Teaching the University of Nebraska students was one of the most rewarding educational experiences during all those years. Upon their arrival, many students are shy and perhaps intimidated by the strange language and culture. For many of them, it's their first journey abroad, or even outside the state of Nebraska for that matter. Then they slowly start discovering new topics and approaches in the classes and begin exploring cultural similarities and differences in everyday life. You can observe on an almost daily basis their personal and academic growth. And soon they also turn into seasoned travelers, exploring their other destinations on their own. At the end of the semester, one can feel pride in their achievements. They have learned a lot. At the same time, however, we have learned a lot ourselves from you, the students and teachers of University of Nebraska. There have been hundreds of nice people we have taught. Amazingly, over the years, we have accumulated a thoroughly positive experience. The joy of teaching and sharing the culture of the old world with the young people of the new world who have embraced it gratefully. The only troubles over the years have been a few sprained ankles, one unfortunate Greek donkey, and an Italian moped which didn't survive the adventures of Nebraskans at the foot of Mount Olympus in Greece and in the traffic of the city of Rome. We believe it was an amazing experience for everyone, an adventure of learning and perhaps becoming wise. We hope you will be as brave and inquisitive as those classmates we have had the privilege of meeting back in Europe. Just be careful with those donkeys and mopeds. As it is customary at all European universities, let us conclude with an ancient Latin blessing we usually bestow on our graduates. Now you have to trust us, it's not a malicious spell from Harry Potter. Quod bonum felix faustum fortunatum quesit. May it be good, fruitful, favorable, and prosperous for you. Thank you.
Thank you.